Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jorvik, and today we are continuing our watch along for Agatha All Along. So far these videos have been pretty popular on my channel, so I just want to say thank you for everyone who watches. A couple things before we watch this episode. We last left off Agatha and the gang. They just finished the fire trial, which was Alice's, trial, singing her mother's song and fighting off the family curse. We did leave off the episode with a very cryptic line from Rio, of all people, who said, "That boy isn't yours." And I feel like that thread is going to carry on a little bit into this episode. You have to remember that with these Marvel shows, mostly Marvel, I wouldn't say Star Wars, but mostly Marvel shows, Episode 5 is like the crucial episode. It's one of the crucial episodes. Of course, that's mostly with, the 6 episode runs of these shows, but this I think is 8 or 9. So maybe Episode 5 won't be as big as it would if it was a 6 episode series, but I expect some revelations to be revealed in this episode. I think because we got a little bit of a moment between Rio and between Agatha in this, and there's a big fan theory out there, which I won't discuss right now. I will discuss it after the reaction, depending on if there is some new evidence in this episode, fueling that fan theory. Excited for the show. I've been really enjoying it. I've been really enjoying, the spookiness of it and some of the areas. Obviously, it's not a straight horror show, so it's not like it's the scariest thing, but it is just nice. It's a nice change of pace, I guess I should say. As always, we are going to be lighting our candle and evoking the gods to join us on this watch along. It's so low I have to do it upside down. I don't have the long lighter. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Darkest hour, wake thy power. Which could be a nod to the witching hour, which is traditionally around 3 a.m., but it's mostly between midnight and 3 a.m. A fox. Oh, that's the Salem 7. Those are all of their familiars. So we got like a boa, a fox, a crow. Dude,
tell them.
Jennifer has leaves over her eyes like a sleep mask. I love it.
I did coven bent on revenge.
The moral of the story, kids, is always finish what you started. Also, mercy is overrated.
So that's something that we saw in WandaVision. Actually, I think it was episode 6 or 7 where we saw Agatha's origin and how she killed her old coven and her mother.
It's great.
Bro, they're really about to use brooms.
Why does your generation hate them so much?
Brooms have been co-opted by the holiday industrial complex as an absurd emblem of our culture.
That's true. It's the same way on how like a lot of pagans in history took their like holidays and stuff like Easter and Christmas, and how a lot of those symbols were adopted into a Christian-based faith. So it's the same thing here. Of course, a lot of that is a big, broader discussion. A lot of it was kind of cultural, like synchronicity, and all that kind of. It's a different topic for a different video, but that's I see what they're saying.
Oh no. Wait, how do you do this?
Keep on, team.
You got this.
Try praying to the Divine Mother, kiddo!
The Divine Mother, I believe that is the full moon. Please, if you're a witch, I'm not like a witch, so I don't practice witchcraft, but I believe the Divine Mother is the full moon. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Which, there's the imagery right there, so maybe. It's a blood moon, actually, it looks like. Rio with her witch's crackle. I love it. Oh, this must be like the 80s episode. Yes. Oh, he looks like Wicked.
Which pearl is this?
Agatha's.
How do you know?
A blood moon. When the veil between the living and the dead is at its thinnest.
Yep. So that does give a little bit of credence to that fan theory, but Ouija board.
We have to Ouija. Number 2, do not speak over each other.
It's not written there. Show me that.
3, do not taunt the spirits.
Some spirits will be taunt this episode.
What does that say on the back there?
For ages 3 and up.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. See, I've never messed with the Ouija board. I don't really care to. I don't really believe in a lot of that stuff personally. But it is funny that it is like a board game.
Do we have the pleasure of communing with?
Mephisto.
M.
M.
R.
Oh.
Mrs. Hart? Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. This is so ridiculous. I love it.
Bringing on my own early demise.
It's not funny, but Catherine Hahn doing an impression of Deborah Jo Rupp is pretty funny.
T.
H.
Death.
We're not supposed to ask about that.
Ooh, interesting. Again, gives a little bit of credence on who Rio is.
Stop. All right, stop.
A. G. A. T. H. A.
Punish Agatha!
It's how we pass the trial.
Oh, I don't think so.
And after everything she's done,
Interesting.
lies, the cheating, the complete and utter lack of humanity.
Whoa. Where'd she go?
Oh my gosh, what's happening?
Oh.
I love this like exorcist imagery.
Where is she? Agatha!
Ugh.
That is a ghost.
It's Agatha's mom, it looks like.
I hate ghosts.
Who are you?
Eleanora Harkness.
It's her mom.
She means punish Agatha.
Leave her with me. No! No way!
Why do you hate me still?
I ought to have killed you the moment you left my body.
That's kind of like it's kind of a crazy thing to say. I mean, obviously, I'm not a parent.
I can be good, please!
No, not again.
Leave her alone!
Whoa! She has like power.
Just stop! Make her stop!
A-S-S-C-R-A-T. C. H.
Nicholas Scratch.
Scratch. Nicholas Scratch!
Whoa.
Alice, come on. Alice, come on. Wake up, Alice. Alice, please. Please wake up. Alice.
Don't touch her!
Oh my gosh. I did not expect that. That's crazy. Agatha actually looks sad about it. Oh my gosh, I actually really liked her character. That's so depressing. But she has power now because she took it. But she doesn't have a lot of power, it seems like.
So that's what it means to be a witch? Killing people to serve your own agenda? No. Not for me.
That sinister look.
You're so much like your mother.
Oh my gosh, so he is Billy. Wait, no, that can mean a lot of things. Not necessarily Wanda, but my heart's beating fast. So I think she, oh man.
Hey, buddy. Stop.
Whoa. What? What? Whoa. I got several. I got several questions. First of all, really short episode. But I'm perfectly okay with that. So much has been, I don't think has been answered. I think I have more questions than answers. Let's dive in. So let's just talk about the big reveal from this episode, in that this is, in fact, Billy Kaplan, aka Wiccan, also known as Wanda's son. So I'm at a loss for words. I don't even know what to talk about first. Besides that, okay. I have another theory. What if he's Agatha's brother? Does that make sense? Does Agatha have a brother in the comics? Hold on, let me look it up. Okay, no, she doesn't. So there are two lanes that they could take with this. So one, he is Nicholas Scratch, and I think him saying that name probably broke the sigil that was on his mouth, and I think that's what tipped Agatha off to know that he is her son, reincarnated somehow. And the only reason I think that is because he says that I don't want to hurt people doing witchcraft, and she smiles and says, "You're just like your mother," which could imply her, but that also could imply the second lane of thought is that he is in fact Billy Kaplan, or at least, he has the soul of being Wanda's kid, the son of the Scarlet Witch, which obviously, there's a lot of imagery with him with the red headband. Obviously his magic is blue, which it's blue in the comics as well. There's a lot here. I mean, it could go two ways. The only reason why I think it's Wanda's brother is because he had a blue crown. At least we saw the hints of a blue crown. And if you remember in WandaVision, when we got to the backstory of how Agatha got her powers and how she killed her coven and her mother, which was foreshadowed in the previously on at the beginning of the episode, her mother had a blue crown in the same way that Wanda got her red crown as the Scarlet Witch. So they could do a thing. I know Agatha had a sister. I think her name was Abigail. Yeah, because I think she was based on the Salem, with the real life Abigail Williams from Salem, the witch trials. But I don't know for sure. So that he could be like a ginger swamped version of Agatha's brother. But it also, man, wow. And we gotta talk about there. Jeez. So let's talk about Alice. I did not see that coming. I thought Sharon was going to be like the only death that we saw. But no, Alice is gone. She's dead. Agatha took her power, but it seemed like Agatha didn't keep her power because it kind of faded away in her hands a little bit. But yeah, dude, I just don't know what to think. I mean, this is episode 5. This is what I said at the beginning of the episode. Beginning of this episode is that episode 5 is always like the crazy episode in these shows, and I was really hoping that they would mention Mephisto. I was really hoping that if he was going to be in the show, this probably would have been the episode he showed up in. But that's just because he was name dropped in the other episode. So does that mean that Billy is the true villain of this season? I mean, because we still have the Salem 7. You know, we still have potentially Rio, because we've seen some footage of her in trailers in a more antagonistic role. I mean, there's a lot that we haven't even. And again, there is Nicholas Scratch, who is a character in the comics. He's like a grown man, but his kids are the ones called the Salem 7, or the Salemites. So I mean, there's so much that they can adapt here. I just don't know. Well, let's talk about the other fan theory that's been going around the last week. And it's that Rio could be Death. And so spoilers, I guess, in case you don't want to know, you can, I guess, end it here. But there was a Funko, a lot of toys, they get leaked early. They have to be made in advance. I used to work for Funko back when I lived in Washington. So, I saw a lot of that was the time Avengers Endgame was coming out. So I saw those costumes like months before that movie came out. But there was a Funko Pop leak that was Rio, and she was labeled Death. And if you don't know, Death is an actual character in the comics, much like Eternity, much like the Watcher. She is a cosmic being. There's also Entropy, and there's Infinity as well, and she's one of those 4, like kind of brothers and sisters, whatever you want to call them. And in the comics, Death is also related to Thanos, because in the comics, during Thanos's rise to gather the Infinity Stones or the Infinity Gems, whatever you want to call them, his whole plan was to court Death. And by doing that, he wanted to collect the stones, wipe out all life and half the universe as a way of like, look, honey, I did this for you. And they say men don't yearn enough. So obviously they didn't do that in the MCU. So this is actually technically not the first time we've seen Death. She actually showed up in, well, not physically, but there was a statue of her in, was it Thor Love and Thunder, where they're at the gates of eternity? Because there was, you saw the Living Tribunal statue, you saw the Watcher statue, and Death was also present there. So we know she exists in the cosmic, side of the MCU. But this theory came about because, not only because of that toy leak, but it also came about because of, a lot of the lines that Rio had in the previous episode, talking about, just mentioning Death and how she wants her bodies, and how when Teen was dying at the end of the last episode, Agatha looked at her and said, don't, as in don't take him from, saying like, hey, Death, don't take this from me. And of course, Death was also mentioned again in this episode when they were doing the Ouija board. And you saw the face that she had. She kind of smiled and laughed at it because she could be Death, or at least maybe an agent of Death. I mean, I don't know for sure. Wow, what an episode. Again, it was a very quick episode. It was only like 25 minutes, maybe. But I know this episode is going to be talked about a lot this week. Until next week's episode. Speaking of next week, I should also mention I will be going out of town this weekend as the time of recording this, and I won't be back until next weekend. So I am going to miss the Penguin episode 4, and I'm going to miss Agatha episode 6. So those will not be on the channel on, you know, the days that I've kind of designated as my upload days as Tuesday and Thursday for those. But I'm not going to leave you guys hanging. I will be finishing Twilight of the Gods, and I'll make sure all of that is scheduled for you guys for next week. That way we can go ahead and get that series out of the way. And then as soon as I get back, I will do the Penguin and Agatha. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If you have any other theories about this episode, please let me know down below and what you thought about some of these shocking revelations in this episode. Like, it's crazy. I mean, I'm still at a loss for words. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked this type of content. As always, my name is Jorvik, and I'll see you in the next one.